Hey guys, Critical Gaming here, and today I'm coming at you with a Paris EX trial. Except in this video I decided to only use 6-star subunits. The only two 7-stars in this team are Avani and Labaird. Avani was for the damage and the BB on Spark, and Labaird is for survivability, because a full 6-star team actually cannot beat this trial. But this trial is seen as one of the hardest trials in the game because Paris has a lot of damage, and it's pretty cool to do this with 6 stars because it shows that you can beat this trial without having all of the really broken meta units if you just have good spheres. So I'm going to go over my team. Of course, I'll start with Avani. She gives 100% Spark for damage, and also her BB gives more damage with status element infliction and 140% attack to status element inflicted foes. Her SPB also gives +1 hit count, which is good for damage, in combo with her leader skill, which gives 80% attack and also +1 hit count with 50% damage on the second hit. So she's pretty much the damage unit for the squad, since 6 stars don't have a damage leader skill that even compares to her. And then Labaird is 40% HP, is really needed for the little 6 stars to survive. He also gives BB on hit, which most 6 stars don't do except for Lilimata and like Zedion. And he's also the mitigator. And the problem with him though is that he's dark, so he's not earth, which means he takes more damage. So I couldn't do this with a different Labaird, which used Sacred Crystal and Phantom Gizmo. But this Labaird had Pentalocus, which helps his survival a lot. So he's able to survive in most of the situations, but he's the unit that dies the most. For the 6 stars, I took Zelnite. Zelnite was arguably one of the strongest 6 stars back in the 6-star era. He gives BCHC drop rate, and he also fills everyone by 8 battle. He gives everyone BB gauge fill like 8 battle crystals. So that came in handy a lot when Labaird needed to fill. And his HC clashes with Ferris, but Ferris was a really good spark. Like, she's a good spark blanket, like she sparks really well, which helps with Avani's leader skill. And that's one thing Zelnite can't do, is spark very well, because he has a cut in his animation, and that was pretty detrimental sometimes, but it didn't really matter too much. Luca's for the attack buff. The attack buff really helps when you have to normal attack, because you have to do that a lot since 6 stars aren't as good at keeping SBB spam up as 7 stars are. So Luca's pretty much the attack buff. He gives Earth to Labaird, so he does more damage, but that's about all Luca is. And Arbanella is actually the most important Earth unit here. Her stats are lower than everyone else's, especially the two 7 stars, but she's lower than the 6 stars too, because she's 24 cost and like low stats everywhere. But she gives 100% defense buff and 100% rec buff, I believe. And she also heals, which is very important. Because this squad doesn't have HOT, which is very awful when you're fighting Ragon and Paris' 7-star, because when she inflicts DOT, you take a lot of damage, and especially the Labaird, because he doesn't have Bayorg's armor, which means he was taking a lot of damage from the DOT, and he actually dies to DOT at one point. So the hardest part about this was trying to find ways to keep the 6 stars alive, because they have less health inherently than 7 stars. So each unit is equipped with Bayorg's armor, except for the Labaird friend, because I didn't have a Labaird friend with Bayorg's armor on him. And on Arbanella, I believe she has Cosmic Dust, which negates status ailments and gives her 20% HP. And I used Schism Orb on one of my units, but Schism Orb is the reward for the Paris trial, so you can use the Earth Frontier Gate, which I believe is actually better, but I just didn't use it. But it would have been much more beneficial to bring that. So pretty much at this point, the 6 stars aren't doing enough damage, and you have to be able to keep Overdrive up so that you can use Labaird GBB when Charla and Ragon come, because when Charla crits, she does a lot of damage to the Earth units, because she has a lot of hit count due to Ragon, and she just does so much damage to Earth units that are normally taking thunder damage. If I was to use any other units, instead of like Ferris, I'd probably use Lario, because he would honestly be a better spark blanket with 40 hits. And he has BC drop rate, but that would also clash with Zelnite too. But pretty much a lot of my old good 6-star Earth units have now turned into 7 stars, so they can't really be used. I think that's pretty much it. Anything else I'm gonna say is gonna be in the text box below me, so you guys can read that. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. This was Critical Hit Gaming. Bye to two.